Hello, welcome to the Park Opening Podcast. It's our pre-season kind of look at our new game for Season 2 of Theme Park Dash. I am joined, of course, by all the team members. We've got Nikki.
Hello.
We've got Lewis.
Hi.
And for this season, we've got someone new, because no one else was available. It's Luke.
Oh, hello, guys.
Luke actually edited a lot of, was it episode 3 last year that you helped edit?
I think it was all of them. I think I did all of them.
It wasn't definitely not all of them. It was a part of episode 3.
It wasn't a part. It was all of. It was half a season of episode 3 and 4, actually.
Yeah.
Not half a season, half a team.
So he said if we ever do another one, he'd love to be in it, and we needed someone. So Luke came and was Nikki's partner for the purple team this year.
He was.
So the first thing we're going to do is, these guys, I've been editing for a long time now, but these guys haven't seen anything to do with the show at all. So I'm going to play this in the podcast as well. So we're going to watch the trailer for the first time now. It's like, the trailer will be finished by the time you guys see it, but these are seeing like a 99% finished version of the trailer. And then we'll talk about the game design, how it's different from last year's game design, why we chose to go back to Alton Towers and do Alton Towers again, and we'll talk about all that. But are you guys ready to watch the trailer? I'm actually really nervous about you to watch it.
Excited.
I'm so buzzing.
Okay, right. Okay, so you're only behind the camera, aren't you, Luke, for obvious reasons? Right. Well, let's get the link out. And now we're going to watch the trailer. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
As well, this is such a big challenge, and this is literally the start.
I'm so stressed again.
Welcome, Luke, to the purple team.
Thank you.
Purple cards, which are tasks, and we've got Alton Powers, which is like a power-up.
Each task is worth a different amount of tickets, and we use those tickets to roll the dice in order to move our place on the board.
Smile is currently on 120 minutes.
Oh, God.
We are hovering.
This is a really bad start for us.
Really bad for us, like really bad for us.
Basically, listen here, Stuart. I want to ruin your day.
Closed ride, update.
Time to pull a task.
It's just nice to sit down.
No, it's not.
I'm sure that's in the
No,
rule.
he said if
I'm
it's...
sure it's in
the rules are, if it's closed, tough luck.
Do you know what? I still haven't had a cup of tea. Why am I out of breath?
This is really gross.
No, this way. Point this way.
Okay. Oh no, I can see it. I just saw it.
I think we're going to have this problem all day.
I mean, that doesn't come much more seeing it, does it?
We're stealing their station.
I think it's close.
I'm knackered.
Come on, let's catch him.
Doing 60 down here, we are.
This is the best thing that possibly could have happened to us ever.
That may have actually played out in our favour.
Let's go.
They're here.
No, they're over here. They're over here.
Oh my God.
It was so hard.
It's so hard.
This is where they're going to come good.
You know that Stuart smug look?
Look who's just turned up. He's making sure because he doesn't want it to be true.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Give him a shovel. Quick.
Marauders! Genuinely have to just believe.
We've got a thumbs up for dispatch.
Smile like your lives making me smile.
It's you, whenever you roll dice.
Right, okay, well you have your on the dice.
Yeah.
I think we learnt our lesson about being cocky.
We've had a full set and another 2 bonus stars.
Shall we steal it immediately?
All of Forbidden Valley is being evacuated, including all the rides, all the shops and all the food outlets.
You can't get anywhere.
Do you want to roll again? Maybe take all the rides?
No, we should just go and have lunch, mate.
It's very
very good for us in the game.
Risk it for a biscuit.
Did anyone know by the looks of it?
I think we'll do it.
The game has been brutal.
No, good. No.
Jen, it's Jen. Lewis.
Oh my god!
What is my life?
No, the train ticket! Take it!
I thought you said you need to wait. I was about to say, you hold that wee in. Oh, that's such a good Stuart. You're an artist. No, I have to say it. You're an artist.
Feels
there we
as
go.
chaotic as it actually was as well.
That is such a good trailer. I didn't even realise, Nikki, the bit where you got all excited and you pitter-pattered you got annoyed and you pitter-pattered your feet. Oh, it's like a fucking jackrabbit.
I was going to say, is it like a rabbit that bangs the feet type thing about not knowing the rules of the game, which she had the night before had explained many hours
There was
worth
a
of
lot
rules to
of
her.
rules, though, in fairness.
A lot.
There is a lot of rules. So that's the first time these guys are seeing that, and it was finished literally, I think, like late last night. So let's go into. And there are some things in there which might give you clues to what happens, but it's so chaotic, and obviously we've mixed it up massively that it shouldn't be too obvious what goes on. But like Nikki says, the games on the day, when you see us walking around, we are kind of a little bit chill, like, because we don't run at everyone. One of the biggest questions might be like, well, why don't you just run from right to? Because you can't do that for 8 hours a day. Well, particularly the first day, because the first day we filmed on opening day.
Well, the thing is, you say we were all knackered, but there was about 3 clips in the trailer where Lewis goes, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I need a cup of tea.
And one of those clips when he was sat down.
We were so much more shattered, I think, this time. It was most exhausting days.
The game is a lot more complex. So this is Altonopoly, no secret now. You can kind of see that from the trailer a little bit. These guys haven't seen that, but there'll be nods to that in the trailer in the finished version. So we're going to go through how the game works a little bit. It's different to last year. So last year when we did Alton Towers, we basically did tasks, we earned tickets, and we paid for the rides with those tickets, but we had free choice of whatever ride we wanted to go on, what we wanted to steal, all that sort of stuff. We don't have that this time. So this time we do have a physical board, and although, we've kind of taken some inspiration from Monopoly, the actual game it looks a little bit like Monopoly, but the game is just obviously massively more chaotic. So the reason why we wanted to do something, if we went back to Alton Towers, we wanted to do something different. We didn't want to do the same game again, but we didn't want to spend a lot of time because it takes so long making the graphics. So just take the map for Alton Towers. Doing that digitally just takes so much time. And although I've tried to improve it this time, doing that and starting that from scratch to do a new park would have taken in reality just probably another couple of weeks with how much time I get to spend on the project. But we wanted to do something, and also again, Merlin passes, although Luke doesn't have a Merlin pass, so it's thanks to donations that I actually were able to get him a ticket, because even just a ticket would have blown the budget probably. And also because we had such a bad day on the it's really weird because we had such a rubbish day on the opening day. That's not a spoiler. Everyone knows the opening day for Alton Towers this year was pretty bad. We emailed them and they gave us a free ticket for the return day. So Luke's return day was actually free, so it didn't cost our donators anything. So this one we are in 2 teams again. Me and Lewis, the dream team.
The A team.
And and Nikki and Luke.
You don't even know what colour team you are, mate.
Doesn't matter as long as I'm the winning team, mate.
You
It
did
doesn't
ask
matter.
me in this call, what colour am I?
No, I
again?
didn't. That's not recorded. There's no proof of that.
Yeah. And we start on the park entrance square, and we have to roll a dice to move around, and then we can only claim a ride if we land on that square. Luke did a fantastic job, to be fair, of explaining the rules in game. We do have a nice little montage at the start which explains them, but Luke kind of recapped them pretty well. So well done, Luke. That's pretty good. So yeah, and in order to roll the dice, it costs us 10 tickets to actually roll each time. So that's why we have to do the tasks in order to boost that up. We do also get, if we go past the park entrance, we do get 20 tickets as well, meaning it's a nice little bonus as we go around. We did worry a little bit, didn't we, about the lack of need to potentially do tasks if we
did
get paid the rent. We thought that was a bit too powerful, but actually it turned out to be all right.
I was just gonna say, I think at first, it's because obviously, because like normal Monopoly, the game starts so slow where you get no rent from people, because we were constantly paying your rent and then you were giving us that rent money back because you landed on ours. Both teams just ended up having like 0 tickets because we were constantly paying each other.
Yeah, at the start, because rent wasn't flowing yet. Because we haven't mentioned actually, so if someone else owns that ride, we have to then, and if we land on it, regardless if we want to steal it or anything, because we can steal it then, we can ride it if we want to, but we have to pay them a rent. So every ride card will actually have a value on it, and that's what we have to pay. So for example, the Smiler was 30 tickets. It was 3 stars, and it's 30 tickets. If it's 10 tickets per star basically, because they have the longer waits. So yeah, we have to pay rent if we land on a square. But at the start of the game, obviously that doesn't really happen too often, and you can roll sort of risk-free. You obviously have other stuff, which I'll come on to, that might be a pitfall, but you're probably not going to have to pay rent. But I know in the game, as a whole, that caught us out to the point where when the first time it happened, I forgot that rent was a thing, and I thought we thought we were rolling. It definitely happened to me on those. We thought we were rolling, and we knew what the other worries were, but we completely negated to think about rent at all. The rides are grouped into pairs again, similar to Monopoly, so they'll share a colour, and if you get both rides in that set, you will get a bonus star. Or we also have 4 stations, and our 4 stations we have are the car park monorail station, park entrance monorail station, Sky Ride, Tower Street Sky Ride, and Fountain Square. Now, again, slight spoiler, the Sky Ride never opens. Alton Towers did this big song and dance about how the Sky Ride's coming back. They were posting all these lovely social media posts about the Sky Ride coming back, and it did come back, but it came back after we finished both days of filming. But by that point, it was so enrooted into the game that we just had to
live with it, didn't we, really?
Yeah. Hex was another one. Hex was meant to be in the game, and it was also closed, so we had to swap that out. I think Spinball Whizzer was not in the game at all, but it got put in for that because of that. Just because Hex we hadn't done last year. We didn't involve the ride last year. I know we have Hexes, but we didn't involve the ride last year. So that's the bonus stars. That's why it can be quite advantageous to get 2 together. The issue is, though, it's 2 dice that we roll, and they are always next to each other exactly. There's no gap. So you will probably always have to travel around the board twice in order to get a set. What else have we got? We've got grouped into pairs, rolling dice. Oh, we can roll the dice whenever, so we don't have to wait for the other team to roll. Like, it's not like, it sounds obvious, but we don't have to wait for the other team to roll the dice before we roll ours. You can just roll the dice whenever you want.
It's like 2 games of Monopoly happening at once, isn't it? Effectively, you've got 2 different people playing at the same time.
Yeah.
But the causation is
you're affecting each other's game board.
With one hell of a Google Sheet, let me tell you. It's the most impressive Google Sheet I think I've ever made.
That Google Sheet became the bane of my existence.
Yeah. I'm just so glad that Luke was on that, because if that had been my job, fair play, Luke, because I was in charge of the filming side of it, and Luke looked after the spreadsheet, and I'm glad he did, because I'd have struggled with that.
Well, Nikki, if I'm right in recalling, didn't it always go wrong when they touched the sheet?
I think there's video evidence of the actual contrary to that.
I didn't touch it. I did not touch that spreadsheet.
I'm pretty sure I was editing something and you deleted it to put your own information in there.
No, that's because we edited at the same time, which the chances of that happening were like 1 in a million.
We fixed it on the second day though. We had 2 separate sheets for entering stuff like that.
So this is the thing. So people don't obviously see this, and that's the joy of it. You just see the end product. And when we make really bad decisions, so there is a bad decision in there which none of us have picked up on, which we'll get to when we get to that episode. But there's a bad decision. There's a bad decision. And
by who? Can you tell us who made it?
Can you tell us who it was?
I'm not going to say anything about it. But
It
wasn't.
It definitely was.
I'm going to say it was all of us, to be fair, but it's not. It was nothing particularly game changing, but it's something we hadn't really realised, and it's only through editing it I'm like, oh, okay, that makes absolutely no sense. But it's because on the day when we're playing the game, it's the first time we're playing the game, and I do like a lot of testing as best I can. But when you're testing, it's like playing a game of like a battle field, and you're just moving, they just move pieces on a map, of like what they want to do. So it's a bit like that when we do the testing for it. But there's some stuff that makes no sense. But because when you're in the moment, we are literally, you see Luke and you see Lewis in shot on their phone, editing the sheet, and it's only through that's all the information we get through the game and our knowledge of all the game rules, and we sit down probably a few days before and we go through every single task, how it's meant to be done, or not how it's meant to be done, but like what we sort of expect from it, whether you're allowed to be a little loose with the rules, whether you want it to be specific, and also we go through just all the rules in general, which a lot of the time there's so many rules. It's not a fun thing to go through, but we have to have some sort of structure or else the game would fall apart. And there's still stuff on the day that we change because of, not that we change, but that we double check with each other that okay, we definitely meant this by this, did we? One thing we did do is, because it's opening day, which we knew would be a challenge,
we all said to you, I don't think that's a good idea, and you were like, no,
bad idea.
But I think watching the video, but I do think it was made the game actually way harder and
way slower.
A lot slower actually. You are right from that, because that was our worry. So with that, we knew there'd be big queues. We knew there'd probably be a bit of downtime with the rides, and because of that, we reduced our task lockout period literally like moments before we started the game from half an hour down to 15 minutes, because we knew we'd probably need, just to make a video, we'd need to be free a little bit more because the queues would be so heavy on opening day. The queues were heavy on opening day, not because it's particularly busy, to be fair, just because a lot of stuff didn't work. Again,
and Toxicator was open that day.
Oh yeah, true. And Toxicator did get a big queue, which we all knew and would assume, and it's why Toxicator in the game is actually worth 3 stars. People normally it's a big coaster which would be worth 3 stars, but Toxicator, because that first day we knew it's going to be busy, we put that on at 3 stars as well. So yeah, so what else have we got in the game? So with the tasks, we've got a few favourites in there from season 1. I'm not going to say which ones we've kept, and some we've actually we had loads of tasks from season 1 we didn't use, so some of them are in there as well. Some have been in there twice now and still haven't been used, so they'll just keep on going in until they do. We've also got some recommendations from people commenting, and they do actually get selected in the game, which is quite nice because their name will go on screen.
And they're really good as well, thank you.
So we got power-up cards. Now, the issue with anything, Monopoly in the world of board games is actually looked at as one of the worst board games you can actually play, because you can get knocked out, so you can have 4 hours where you just sit there and not do anything. So we needed big ways to, if one team was dominating the board, like big ways to encourage swings of stars. So even if you were like really far away, you still had a chance of getting back. Otherwise, we haven't got a video. So these aren't the only way, because obviously you can steal a ride, and if you steal one ride, that's 3 stars off them, particularly if it's a big ride, and 3 stars to you. That's huge. But the power-up cards are there to balance the game, and they do help out the losing team more than the... If you're winning, it kind of just says tough luck. Not all the time, but like on average. And with that, the power-up cards, some will just give you some tickets. Some will let you trade rides. Some will give you more dice rolls. There's like a mixture of stuff that the power-up cards can do. But they are there primarily to help balance the game a little bit.
I can't remember a single power card now.
Oh, I
Looking
can.
back, I can't think of any of them.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, same actually.
I can think
They're
of
the
one in
purple ones.
particular, which we'll come back to when that episode airs. Yeah, I
I
can.
remember one of them. I don't remember what it was, but I remember the feeling of getting one of them.
I remember the feeling of getting one of them, and I remember the feeling of you guys getting one of them.
Oh yes,
Well,
I remember
that's all
one of them
I'm
now.
gonna say.
Oh yeah,
Just had
That's a later
PTSD.
episode.
yeah.
So that's what power-up cards, so you'll see them, and they're just spaces on the board that you land on, similar to community chest or chance cards type thing. The other spaces we have on the board, so some simple stuff like express parking replaces free parking, because there's no free parking at Alton Towers. So the express parking, you just got to pay 30 tickets. It's just a bit of a punch.
It's a bit like the tax on the normal Monopoly board, isn't it? It's almost like a income tax.
Oh yeah, I
kind of
suppose,
thing,
yeah.
isn't it?
That's true. Also, our board, you might notice, well, our board isn't square. Monopoly's board is square, and that's because it fits nicely on a video. A square would be really horrible to look at, and the reason why we've reduced the spaces is purely for the...
Wait, are you telling me that Alton Towers isn't actually a square?
I don't know what to say to that.
You're a square.
There you go. Lewis nailed it.
Right.
Other cards that we've got are... Other spaces on the board we've got are the Power of Hex and the Battle of Mutiny Bay. And these are kind of one-off squares, which when someone lands on it, once the task has been completed, it will turn into a buy merchandise square. So the buy merchandise is just Lewis's favourite square, and you spend 30 tickets. Because it's not really, it's kind of like a placeholder square after the fact that the first one. But the first time, the Power of Hex or Battle of Mutiny Bay, they could be quite big time wasters.
Yeah.
So you do sort of want to avoid them. And again, they are loosely themed off Waterworks and Electricity Company from the main game. You do hear us a lot of the time call them Waterworks. Because on our sheet it was called Waterworks, even though in the game. Also, do you know a fun fact, which is hilarious, right? I misspelled Get Set Go, the ride, on the sheet, and it was called Go Set Go on the sheet.
Oh my
That's
god, that's why it confused us. We kept
And-
stumbling over our
We
words.
couldn't get it right.
No, you kept calling it Go Jetters,
Yeah.
which is the other ride.
That's her fault. That
The
was
little
not
spinny
me.
one. I don't even think it's called Go Jetters. It's called something else Jetters. I don't know. But so
I was
we
getting
refer to it in the whole
confused
series
the whole
as
time. We couldn't work out where all this confusion was coming from.
And obviously, I'm not going to say you're wrong, am I? I'm just going to go with it.
So, and not only was it wrong on the sheet, it was wrong in every single graphic that I exported. So every dice roll, there's a graphic which will pop up, which just kind of help show you where we are on the board. And it was wrong on every... same with Marauders. Spelt that wrong as well. So yeah, in the whole series, the day one, they call it Go Jetters all the time. I don't really know why.
We've just mixed the two,
But
haven't we?
Yeah.
me and Lewis do say Go Set Go, and then for the whole series we all say Go Set Go because on the sheet that's what it said.
So what
What's it
actually?
actually called then?
Get Set Go.
Get set go.
Go Set
Set
Go
Go,
sounds
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Although it
Rebrand.
doesn't make sense. Go Set
But
Go. Oh my god,
it's
even
Go
close
Set
that.
Stop.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not open, is it?
What else we got? And then there is the last thing is jail. So
Oh my god, that
My favourite,
stupid
personally.
jail.
jail was rough. So jail was
It's time
actually
to
meant to be.
reflect.
Jail was meant to be a little cabin in the gardens area, but on the first day that we opened, the first day that we ran the game, we were doing it till 7:30 at night. So, or 7 at night, I can't remember. and it starts to go dark. Now when it goes dark, they close the gardens. In fact, you can literally see the guy in the back of one of your two shot on the purple team, literally putting a padlock around the fence because you just happen to be there at that point. Not in jail, but like near the gardens, right? He literally comes with a massive padlock and a chain to put on. It's like, okay. And we did find this actually because we filmed till 7 on the first day. Areas were starting to close, which we hadn't thought about when we designed the game.
Oh yeah.
For example, if you got a gardens challenge right at the end, you might not have been able to do that.
That was a
you
massive
just can't go
pain.
into the gardens anymore. We hadn't really thought about that. So we moved the jail, so it's basically near battle galleons essentially. So what happens is, no matter where you are in the park, let's say you're at stargazing pods for whatever reason, right? I'm just using that as an example because it's far away from everything else. For the stargazing pods, if you pull a jail, right, go to jail either through landing it on the board or it comes through a power-up card and all that sort of stuff, your 30 minutes timer starts straight away. And if it takes you 15 minutes to get to jail, that's still within your 30 minutes lockout because you can't do anything else. And you have to go to jail. It can take you 2 hours. You have to go there before you get out. When you're in jail, you can, every 5 minutes, now 5 minutes has already passed, you can roll straight away. But when you're in jail, every 5 minutes, you can roll the dice to get a double. If you get a double, you're free. Otherwise, you gotta wait till the end of the half an hour and then you're free, you can do it. This is an epic time waster, and unlike doing a hex where there's only 7 of them in the game from season 1, this could happen repeatedly. You could literally roll it on once. And also another important thing is, unlike Monopoly where you move across the board, this doesn't happen. You stay on the jail space and you continue around the board, just to give us a fighting chance of not keep on hitting and going back round. So yeah, so it's a little bit different. Although there is a just visiting square, that is just a square. It doesn't do anything in our game.
Do you have to pay? Did we have to pay to leave jail?
No, didn't have to pay anything because it was rough enough.
I was going to say, we don't need anything else on that.
This is a lot more chaotic.
Yeah.
It's a lot more down to chance because you're at the mercy of a dice roll. There are some things you can do to improve that, which I think the teams did, and we got better at it over time. But we are at the mercy of the dice roll. Like, it's one thing saying, "Oh, we can steal that ride later." It's like, yeah, but we have to land on it.
Oh,
And that's rough.
Do you want to mention the state? So you mentioned the stations. You didn't mention how, obviously, if you collect them all, is it? I can't remember. Is it that you collect them all, you get 1 additional star? Or is it like if you get 2, you get 1 additional star? If you get 3, you get 1 per. So
if you collect, because the stations are relatively easy to nab, particularly very easy in the case of the Sky Ride because it didn't open, and so normally if a ride is closed, you can't claim it because you can't ride it. The only exception to that is with the stations. If the stations are closed, so the monorail or the Sky Ride, and the Sky Ride was closed for 2 days, all you have to do is go to the entrance and touch the entrance gate. That's all you need to do to claim them. So they're very easy to steal. So if you end up having all 4 of them, you get 2 bonus stars, which can be huge. But again, like I said, they are very easy to steal, particularly Sky Ride as it was closed. Yeah, so I think it is chaotic, and the videos do show that. I think the series starts a little bit slower, just purely because there's bigger queues on the first day, and we already had some tickets to play with. But it starts to get, as the series goes on, it starts to get more crazy and more crazy and more crazy.
I guess that is just like normal Monopoly, isn't it?
No, I think quite the opposite. I think in normal Monopoly, it starts off quite messy with everyone, and it's in the title, and one person just starts to own everything. And
You kind of get an outrunner, don't you, towards the end. You can't. With normal Monopoly, you know who's winning by an hour in, really.
You do, and nothing changes that. I don't care what anyone says. If you've not got a set by 10 minutes in, you're done.
The Altonopoly was purely just to give it a bit of a theme. Our game is like,
oh, it's very different.
It is just a bit crazy. But yeah, so I think that, I mean, just going through the rules, the idea was just to give a little bit of insight of the rules, and because it is a bit more complex, and if everyone watches the series gets something different out of it. Some people just want to be entertained by us doing silly stuff in a funny environment. Some people actually really get into the game and really enjoy like the mechanics of the games and stuff. So it's more for them to get their teeth into it a little bit. But I just want to say thank you very much for all the supporters and bearing with us for being just really slow. Life is just getting in the way of the editing, but we also don't want to just rush it. Like all 5 episodes right now, as we record this, like a few weeks earlier before release, the episodes are watchable, but they have no graphics, or we want to spend time putting all the graphics on and making it look decent. Also now we've got memberships on the channel, which is a great way to support the channel, and that all the videos will come out 1 week earlier. I mean, people have already signed up with no date of when a video is going to come out. I mean, fair play to them. Thank you so much. I think they also get the name as well in the credits. I can't remember what I've actually put on the membership form, but I'll need to check that. So if you do sign up and it's within our cut-off time for the next episode, your name will go at the end of the episode too. We've got podcasts reviewing each episode as well. I don't know if they'll come out on the same day. Probably not. Probably a couple of days later. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything for this one. Like I say, it's only a little one to go over the game design. It's going to be really fun to actually deep dive into our decision making for the absolute chaos.
And I think that's worth noting, I think, before people watch it, because I've watched some of mine and Luke's footage back kind of since we did it, and I watch things and go, why didn't we do X, Y, Z? And I think it's worth noting this game is a lot more complex. We didn't have being taught by fancy graphics. We were on a Zoom call like this being talked through. Whereas I think you guys will pick it up very well because it's been designed for that. There was a lot of things for us where it was trying to get our head around it. So just bear that in mind when you watch it, that some decisions probably weren't.
We basically turned up. Yeah, we basically just turned up on the day reading the instruction manual as we went on.
Yeah, literally.
I didn't read the instructions at all. I just
yeah, it's okay for you because you're with Stuart who knows it very well because he's designed it. Me and Luke are just off on our own, just like have to. So
you've got the game designer right next to you. Yeah.
There's a great clip, and also thank you to, I not mentioned Mark. That'd been really unfair. Mark obviously helps us design the games. He doesn't want to be on camera.
He's a legend.
And he also acts on the day as an adjudicator, and he goes through the Google sheet on this game was an absolute mess with just keeping track of everything because so much was happening. And he goes through that during the actual day to make sure, like, oh, is this right? Because no one's logged this and all that sort of stuff.
And he always seems to do it when he's at a family meal. So he's there having a family meal and trying to deal with all our rubbish as well. So thank you, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't go to the family meal, to be fair. There's a great... Just going back to what you said about Lewis not knowing any of the game rules, there's a fantastic... I can't remember which episodes it's in, but it's coming up. There's a fantastic clip where I'm literally explaining. It must be right towards the end because that's why I find it so funny. But yeah, he's I'm explaining the game rules to him of like and they are the primitive game rules. Like with like 3 hours left to go of day 2. Like, right, I'm glad you now fully understand that.
And I think without any spoilers and like without trying to ruin anything, and Stuart cut this out if there is any spoilers, but I don't think there is. I think it all comes to head. We all think we know the game really well, and then we get to kind of the end and we all go, I don't know what's right and wrong now. And that happens a lot, I think, near the end, where we're all like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's the right thing to do. I don't know whether we can do this. And I think that's worth noting as well.
Though I do think it's also worth noting, saying that it's not because of the rules. It was just because of we obviously playing the game we got the tactics in our head. We've got the actual what we're going to do next in our head. And keeping track of the rules on top. It wasn't the rules themselves that was getting
and trying to keep track of the other team. I think that was much harder 100%. This time.
Yeah,
like
a lot harder.
The first time it wasn't too bad, but this time it was so much harder to kind of concentrate on your own game, and also having to work out what they were doing at the same time.
Yeah.
It's much more difficult to pre-plan what they think you were going to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is weird because you'd have thought that would be easier because we know exactly where on the board they are. We know if they've landed on Wickerman. We know if they've landed on Nemesis. We know where they are. So you think, actually... Whereas in the previous game, other than just looking at the GPS, that's the only kind of insight about what they're doing, is looking at the GPS. Whereas this, so you'd think it'd be easier, but it really wasn't.
last time you guys just kind of, you did your own thing and you just go, whatever they do, hopefully it's not that good. For us, this time, it was going, oh no, they've landed on this. What are we going to do? They've landed on ours. Are they going to take it? It was a lot more stress.
Yeah. So a week from now, the first episode will come out, and hopefully people like it. Hopefully it does well. Please like it, share everything. Every time you press a like button or subscribe or interact with the post in a positive way, it tells YouTube that, oh, other people might like this. And it's the only reason why our first video last year got 15,000 views. And then I think we had 5,000 views quite solidly for the other episodes. It means we took a third of that audience and they carried on watching, which is incredible.
Also, make sure you comment, because it'll be really interesting. Make sure you comment on which team you're rooting for.
I don't like that.
I'm imagining people with flags.
Hold on,
only because we're going to read it. It's going to go yellow team, yellow team.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. Purple team. I think because you get some sympathy because of last year, but like everyone hates me and Lewis. Like I've done polls several times. I've done polls several times. We have never won a poll of like which team you support.
Obviously me.
Never won a poll.
But I hate whenever you do those polls. It gives me anxiety. I hate it. 'Cause I'm like, stop pitting us against each other. We're all humans.
That's what we need to do.
What sort of sports spirit's that way?
I'm
Who turns up to a
terrible,
football
I
game
hate
going,
it.
guys, we're all humans?
I hate it.
You know what, actually? Wait till you see some of the clips and I'll quote that, and Nikki says, oh, we're all humans, we all love each other. Wait till you see some of the footage coming up in this season.
Mainly from Luke, I'll add. Mainly from Luke.
Oh no, you are both to
You're
blame.
just as
Don't
bad.
worry
Stuart
about
can
it.
back me on this.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll enjoy. Yeah, it was.
I'll admit, every now and then I got a bit cocky, but I got cocky with it.
A bit cocky.
Stuart,
I'm sure you did too, mate.
You don't even go there. Because what Stuart will do now is he'll keep all those Luke's cocky in and he'll edit out the bits where he was an absolute bell.
Remember, he's the editor, guys.
He will.
I'll hand over all my footage to you, and if we did a time like a duration run of your cocky clips compared to our cocky clips, 10-1, easily 10-1.
But to be in fairness, there was a lot of times where I had to say to Luke, write it in, because there was a bit where I don't know if it'll make it. Luke turns to me at one point, and I'm like, Luke, what are you on about? And I have to bring Luke down quite a bit.
Right, okay, so thank you. So we've had a little bit of an edit jump there because we just realised everything we just talked about in the last 5 minutes was probably very spoiler heavy. So we'll get onto that when we get to that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the first episode. Let us know in the comments what you think of it. If you hate it, okay. But if you like it, then please be louder.
Team Purple.
Team Yellow.
Yeah.
Team Purple.
Team Yellow for the win. Right,
Come on,
other than that,
Nikki.
we shall see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
See ya, bye.
Bye.